Hey guys, it's been a while since I got to do one of these. Got a different. I was gonna do a TNA review, but TNA, the 1 through 13 edition of Impact, it wasn't anything fantastic by any means. I mean, it wasn't a shit show, but the capabilities of the show and what I expected of it, well, they're much lower than I thought they'd be. If you just want to know my quick thoughts, the X Division tournament was pretty good. So far, Christian York went over Kid Cash and Kenny King versus Zion next week. Predicting Kenny King versus York at Genesis with probably Kenny King. And honestly, I think Kenny King could go on and beat RVD later in the night. I think that'd be the way to go. Other than that, this segment I'm about to talk about, the main event segment, is the only other thing that mattered on Impact tonight. So you had the Aces and Eights tag team match, Aces and Eights versus Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. And, you had a random Ace and Eights member with the mask on for that time. And Devon, and the match kind of started oddly. Kurt Angle getting attacked from Doc on the outside, but eventually got in, which is good, the way it needed to happen. And then Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe win. The whole Aces and Eights flood the steel cage, pretty much every single member, which I think is 8. All except for Ken Anderson, which I probably won't be making a separate video on it, but I don't know. I'll talk about Ken Anderson and Aces and Eights some other time. If you guys want me to do a video, comment below. I can do a video on that. I don't care. But that's something I can talk about a little bit. I don't have a huge opinion on it, but I do have an opinion on it nonetheless. I do care a little bit about Ken Anderson being Aces and Eights. Not a whole lot, but a little bit, because he wasn't doing much before. But he finally had Steen coming into the steel cage, hitting every single guy with a bat. At least it's a bat, not fist. John Cena. But, yeah, kind of just hauling ass. And then they all took out the Aces and Eights members out of the steel cage until there was one guy left. That guy, being the masked man that was in a tag team match, they stripped him of his mask, and it was this guy, Mike Knox. And the funny thing was, they did acknowledge him as Mike Knox, which I thought was at least a little neat, if nothing else. Camera fell over. Camera likes to fall over a lot. That's kind of my luck. But, anyways, Mike Knox kind of being more or less a forgotten part of the day, if you ask me. I mean, Luke Gallows was more recent, believe it or not. I think Mike Knox got released 2009, I want to say. He got released I think he got released on the same payroll that was Shelton Benjamin. Because I think him and there's like, what was it, like 15 or 17 or some people like that fired all on the same night. And Shelton Benjamin was one of them, and so was Mike Knox. I think that was the same release rule, and I think Luke Gallows wasn't far after, but Luke Gallows was like, what, 2010? So Luke Gallows is a little more recent, so he's more remembered. But Mike Knox, wow. Something a little different. What do I think of Mike Knox? I tell you, just a quick little timeline, starting the re-shot, or re-burnt, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the re-PG somewhat 13 at times to PG ECW of death. Yeah, when the reunited ECW was at least decent. I mean, it was never an ECW product like back in the day that was enjoyable. But the rehashed, the re-brought from the grave ECW, when it was still decent, when you had Punk and Corvan and all that shit, Mike Knox was one of the starting people there. That's actually where he started his career, with the Kelly Kelly expose, of course. Kind of being Kelly Kelly's boyfriend. And, they didn't do a whole lot with him in ECW. I mean, he had a short feud with Punk and did some stuff every now and then. Just a generic heel. Really generic, actually. Other than his name, that's the most unique thing about him. But you look at Mike Knox, and he goes to Raw, has a short feud with Rey Mysterio, whatnot. Kind of gets around. And then he goes to SmackDown, and his career dies. The thing about Mike Knox, he kind of got a chance, but not really. But at the same time, you don't give chances to everybody, because not everybody has a chance to shine. I mean, like, for example, Vance Archer or Lance Hoyt. I mean, he's a good mid-card talent, don't get me wrong, but he's nothing great. Luke Gallows? I mean, he could have maybe been main event, but if you don't do something special with him, or he doesn't shine enough, he's a great mid-card talent. People like Mike Knox are great, maybe decent, maybe great, could be overestimating it for some of you, but decent mid-card talents unlike Luke Gallows, I think Luke Gallows has a little something more. I really do. He's still younger than a lot of people give him credit for. He's actually pretty young. I want to say he's late 20s, early 30s. I'm pretty sure he's younger than most people would expect, I'd at least say. Mike Knox, I think Mike Knox is a little bit older, but not a whole lot. I want to say he's mid-30s probably. But unlike Luke Gallows, who I think could maybe have a potential run, a good run, I should say, with the TV title, or, you know, something like that, Mike Knox is going to the TV title tops. And that's being generous. I see Mike Knox maybe getting a hold of one of the Aces and Eights members and starting a tag team. I could see Mike Knox being in the lower ranked Bully Ray position without ever any title shots. So, like, maybe at best, he's like where a Rob Terry could be or something. I don't see him ever getting a title shot. I barely see him getting a legend, or not legends, he used to be called legends, but the TV title shot. I mean, Mike Knox, he's an okay talent, and maybe he could surprise me. Maybe Luke Gallows could disappoint me all the way, and Mike Knox could be the one to surprise me. Or whoever else is in the Aces and Eights, but, you know, I don't know about Mike Knox. I mean, let's just put it this way. I have least expectations of Mike Knox than I do Luke Gallows. He's not as big as Luke Gallows, for one. I mean, TNA's not necessarily big guys roided up your ass. But at the same time, he's just a slightly larger guy than normal. I mean, at least Luke Gallows has the tattoos, the bald head, and all that shit. That makes him stick out a little bit. Mike Knox's most non-generic thing about him is his beard. I mean, even his name, if they could use it. I don't know if they're going to use it or not. I don't think they will. I don't know if WWE owns the name or not. They probably do. So I was actually, that's why I was surprised they even mentioned, like, they didn't say, oh, shit, Luke Gallows. They just said, oh, he was a bodyguard for a top talent in wrestling. But they said, oh, shit, that's Mike Knox from WWE. And, you know, that at least helps the name recognition. Say, oh, crap, that guy's in WWE. Maybe he actually has some talent. For anybody that doesn't remember him. But, really, kind of the thing I'm getting at. I see Mike Knox either as a tag team guy, maybe getting a hold of an Aces and Eights member, whoever's in it, or just a big guy, or maybe even a small guy. Maybe he's a big guy, small guy type tag team. I don't know, just a tag team of sorts. And maybe even holding the tag team titles for a while. Good, decent tag team, like a Gunner and Cash or something. To a bigger degree, I'd hope. Especially since we don't even see Gunner anymore. Maybe Mike Knox could be in a tag team with Gunner. I could see that too. You know, Mike Knox and Gunner. Yeah, that's the kind of place I see Mike Knox. Or, like, not in Gunner's position, but Mike Knox tag teaming with Gunner. Why not? Or like a Mike Knox running for the TV title. But that's about it. Luke Gallows, I could maybe see him feuding. Because right now he's feuding with Sting. Okay, that means something. I didn't think Luke Gallows was going to go that high already, but he's already feuding with Sting. And that means something. It really does. Is he going to get put over? Probably not. But he's feuding with Sting. And that means something. So, really, he could maybe raise my expectations. I can maybe, if I focus hard, get a good storyline out of him, maybe get a good match or two out of him, I could see Luke Gallows maybe getting at least a world title shot. Probably not a world title run, but at least a world title shot. Or maybe even a somewhat upper main eventer like Bully Ray. Mike Knox, I can't even barely see a Bully Ray out of him. I see a Bully Ray that's a mid-card like Gunner when Gunner was getting pushed. I don't see a whole lot out of Mike Knox. I didn't think much of him in WWE either. I didn't think much of Luke Gallows, but I sure as hell thought a lot more about Luke Gallows than I did of Mike Knox. I just didn't think he had anything in him. I like his finisher, the swinging STO, if he still does it, you know, cool beans. But at the same time, I mean, he's just another guy. There's nothing special about him, and really, unless you're Stone Cold, like the look means something. Stone Cold, face it, he kind of did look generic in a way. But at the same time, he had that character and persona to back him up. Mike Knox, he has nothing. He didn't have a character from WWE, not even anything to go off. Like, Luke Gallows was kind of a badass in WWE, somewhat. So he's a badass in TNA. Mike Knox was not a badass in WWE. He really wasn't. He was a guy that dated a hot blonde that was way out of his league, who probably has STDs. Has Mike Knox taste, by the way, John Cena. Anyways, he was just dated a hot blonde. Kind of went around, got a couple wins every once in a while. Nothing major, nothing memorable. And kind of just jobbed for the rest of his career in WWE for about a year or two. I just don't see it on Mike Knox. Maybe I'm being a little harsh. I want you guys to go ahead, comment below. Tell me what you guys see in Mike Knox. Do you see anything in him? Probably just a mid-carder. Do you see less than a mid-carder? Do you think after this Aces and Eights run, he's just going to go full-blown jobber? I wouldn't eliminate that as an option at all. I mean, I think every member of Aces and Eights is going to get pushed for a little bit. But other than the... I see him more going down that tag team road with maybe a Gunner or a Kid Cash or something than the actual, oh, hey, he's going to be a TNA mid-carder that can maybe hold the TV title. I just see him more as a tag team guy, if that. But go ahead, tell me what you guys think. Tell me if he just has no future after Aces and Eights. Tell me if you think you see something in him and he actually does have main event potential. I don't know. Maybe it's been too long. Maybe you need a while to actually go ahead and get some new ideas about Mike Knox. Maybe need to refresh your memory a bit. Maybe go watch some old tapes of Mike Knox for all I care. But, I don't know. Just tell me if you remember anything about Mike Knox. Tell me what you guys think about Mike Knox. Do you think he has a future? Tell me what you think. I'm interested to hear. If you even want, go ahead. Give me a video response. Q&As are coming up soon. That's kind of off topic, but just to end the video on a different topic. I got the Q&As are almost ready, so if you want, send a couple more Q&A questions in, and those will be taped soon. But as for this is the Wrestling Anime 11, of course. Yours truly, the Hardy Boy, or Mr. Ace, or whatever the fuck you call me, or call me Shane. I really do not care again. But that's about it. If you want, you can subscribe up above, like this video if you care to. And again, I'm really looking forward to your comments. I'm looking forward to see who else is an Ace and Eights, but Mike Knox is officially confirmed as an Ace and Eights member. That's about it. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.